Well, the reception is lovely. Everyone is just, I think, really enjoying the opportunity to come in and see what all this has been building up to. But my personal feeling, I'm just mostly excited for all these folks who, like we were just talking about. I came in at the end, so I've had a lot of benefit of no preconceived notions, no formed ideas, and I'm getting to watch all of these folks who have been working on this see it come to fruition, and I'm so happy for them.
What would you say to people who say that libraries are obsolete in the modern era?
Well, I mean, the first thing I always point out to people, because this question usually accompanies something about digital content, and it's just not. The fact is, more physical books are being published every year than were the previous year. That number continues to increase year over year, and libraries are still the only place that can have that physical storage of printed material in a way that is cost effective and valuable to everyone in the community. We can collect books that meet the needs of the whole community, whereas an individual person or family, even if they're well off, really can only afford a very small subsection of that. And so that's point one. But the second point is that we do so much beyond that. So even though books are still probably the primary driver of use at the library, we still have programs, we have online content, we have Mango languages for people who want to learn new language. But all of these things that people can do at the library that they might not be able to have easy access to if they were taking it purely of their own means. And that's the beauty of the library.
Got it. Got it. Are you a quiet library kind of a director, or do you let people talk anywhere they want?
The building, we have a quiet room upstairs. The Whitney room is going to be a quiet study space, and we want to preserve that sort of classic library feel in there. But we also have the young adult room that is brand new, and we expect that to be relatively boisterous. And the library is a place where people live parts of their lives, and we want them to be able to do it in the way they normally live their lives. So we do try to keep people from getting too loud or too rowdy, but we also don't want to be shushing people. So the young adult room is going to be reserved for kids in grades 6 through 12 exclusively and during after school hours. So I think that's a really nice thing that they have their own dedicated space. And even while we've just been open in the lobby area, we've had groups stopping by and studying and doing their homework here, even when there was only one little table with 4 chairs. For the very young, we're going to have some story times that'll run multiple times a week that Chris, our children's librarian, will be putting together. So we'll have activities and crafts and story times for those kids. And for older folks, we're planning to put together some really fun programming that will be educational, give a chance to learn and share with community. That will also be, that could be lectures, but could also be craft opportunities and just chances to learn new skills with folks in your community. Nonprofit groups can use that room free of charge, and they just need to reserve it 72 hours in advance to give us a chance to make sure that it's available for them. And that information is actually already up on the website, and people can already start making those reservations, which is great. They can also give us a call, and we're happy to help them with that directly with one of our staff members. And then that room, when it's not being used for a program or by one of these nonprofit groups, is going to be an open study space for anyone to use.
Excellent. Excellent. And lastly, what about these other rooms I'm seeing? Little pockets of rooms. I see one over here.
Yeah, the one you're pointing at now is a small conference room that people can use on a walk-in basis. So it hold up to 5 or 6 people. So if you have a small study group or a small group that is having a meeting about something, it doesn't have to be a nonprofit because it's not an open to the public room. It's just an opportunity, a space private to use. It has AV setup, so if you need to do like a little presentation.
Oh, I like that.
Or if kids are doing homework, they can do it in there. If they're working on a shared project, a group project. So that's one space. We have the teen room. The other offices and doors you're seeing are mostly closets, and then my office and a staff break room.
Yep. Very good. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Welcome to the long-awaited grand reopening of the revitalized Randall Library. Thank you to the Stow Minutemen for serenading us as we've congregated. We have a packed program this morning, so I would like to invite our first speaker, Morgan Hillman, Chairman of the Library Trustees.
Oh, I should have printed this because I didn't think about the sun and the reflection. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to, as Maureen said, the opening of the library. Thank you all for being here. I have been a lifelong advocate of books, literacy, and libraries. And so I joined the board of the trustees in 2021, and I'm currently serving as chair. Over the past 5 years, I have been a part of each step forward of this project. And I can say with absolute certainty that everyone here, and many people who are not, in no small way are responsible for this incredible accomplishment. And one that I'm so excited to see serve Stow for years to come. A revitalized Randall is a meaningful investment in our community. The public library is one of the last spaces in our world that is open to all for free, and that is something that must be protected and celebrated. You'll hear today from a representative from each of the groups that made this building possible, and on behalf of the trustees, both current and former, I want to recognize their hard work and dedication and extend a huge and heartfelt thank you to all of them. Stow's town administration, the 3 different building committees, Design Lab, Colliers, and SMI, who quite literally rebuilt the library from the ground up, the Friends and the Revitalized Randall fundraisers, our current and previous library directors, Tina McAndrew and Ricky Sirois, the amazing staff, with special thanks to Sarah Herdig and JL Gorman, who stepped up during the transition to not only lead the day-to-day operations, but liaise with all of the aforementioned groups to keep the wheels turning, as well as the planning groups that made the opening events possible. And of course, our remarkable community, who patronized, voted for, supported, defended, donated to, and loved the Randall Library in all of its forms. Thank you all. Congratulations.
And now we welcome Ricky Sirois, our new library director, to say a few words as we move forward.
I'm too tall for the microphone. I'm gonna ad lib.
All right.
There we go. I'll do some stand up for you. I just wanted to point out before I start my prepared remarks that we're standing in front of a sign that says library return, and I think that's super appropriate.
Bravo.
I didn't plan it, but I wish I had. So thank you everyone for being here. It's so good to see you all. It's my privilege to be with you all here today as Randall Library reopens. In the 6 weeks or so that I've been in this position, I've gotten to know some people. I've gotten to hear so many positive comments, so many welcoming comments, and that's just such a nice thing to have when you're in a new position like I am. I really appreciate the opportunity to embark on this new chapter. Thank you, with all of you. The success of public libraries is a testament to the communities they serve, and Stow has shown tremendous dedication to its library and its people in supporting this project. And I'm now excited to work alongside the wonderful staff, the Board of Trustees, the Friends of the Library, town officials, and many, many other groups around this community to ensure that the library delivers on the promise that was made. I also want to extend a special appreciation to the building and facilities crews for the work that they did in preparing the building today and throughout this project. We want to make Randall Library a place where every person is welcome and can find something to make their lives a little bit better, where families can discover, where neighbors can work together, where children can have fun, and where we can all go when we just need a good book for the weekend or a movie for a movie night. I'm delighted to welcome you all to your library. Thank you.
And now, Kate Hogan, our state rep.
Good morning, Stow,
Morning.
and congratulations. 65% of our town possesses a library card. Wow. In 2024, Stow broke ground on the renovation of this beautiful and historic building. Now we celebrate the completion and take pride in this jewel in the crown of our community that has been here for over 130 years. This new modern library will feature improved access, additional workspace, adult section area for quiet reading, a young adult section, separate children's area, all those things that make a library such a precious part and force in our community. During all this work, our library kept going, and thank you, everyone. I'm sure it was so much work, but throughout 2025, patrons checked out more than 15,000 items, and this is while we were trying to turn this around and make it our community center. So thank you to our new library director, Ricky Sirois, former director Tina Andrews, the librarian and co-directors J.L. Gorman and Sarah Hertig, our library trustees and friends of the Randall Library, the Randall Library Building Committee, our town administrator, Denise Dombrowski, the Stow Select Board, but most important of all, thank you to the taxpayers of Stow for making this investment for today and for the future. We know that public libraries are not catacombs of dusty books. They're great beehives of social activity. 65% of our constituents own library cards. More than 43 use them regularly, and these numbers increase. I grew up with the branch library. I could walk to it from my neighborhood. I grew up with my mother, Mary Hogan. She was never able to attend college, yet she was the best read person I ever met. The public library system was Mary's university. Mary shared her love of reading as well as her love of libraries with all of her 4 children, and we lived in a home filled with books, enriched with ideas. The books came from our public library. All of Mary's children grew up and went to college. We all know that we owe our love of learning to Mary and her books and her love of public libraries. Everyone should have the opportunity, no matter their station in life, to live a life of the mind and to travel in the company of writers that live on bookshelves. Everyone with a library card gets that opportunity. Albert Einstein once said, "The only thing that you absolutely have to know is the location of your library." Congrats to all for a job well done. Now let's get this baby open. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Kate. And now I would like to introduce Ben Utes, who is from Design Lab. They were the architects that designed this beautiful addition and renovation. Ben?
Good morning. Thank you to the library trustees for inviting me to be here today. It is such an absolute joy to be standing here in front of your revitalized library with all of you on this beautiful spring day. This is the culmination of a process that for us started almost exactly 5 years ago. It's pretty hard to imagine. And I know for many in town, the process began even earlier than that. And I think that the fact that this project is nearly a decade in the making, to me, is an absolute testament to how important libraries are to their communities. Delivering a project like this requires perseverance, requires commitment, conviction. It always amazes me at the amount of people that it takes to design and construct a building. And this particular project has had a really extraordinary group of people who's been involved from the very early stages. From the building committee members, the library trustees, of course, former library director Tina McAndrew, the library staff, Sarah and JL. Chris, I think, is up in the window in the children's room. Your new library director, Ricky. Our partners at Collier's, Trey, and SMI, the general contractor. You make a lot of great friends and connections during building projects, and that's really true for this project in particular. I do want to make sure I mention one key member of our team from Design Lab, Audrey. She's been instrumental in making this project a reality. She's traveling personally today, so she's not here, But everyone requires recognition, and I want to take a moment to thank everybody for what they've contributed. Perched atop Library Hill, Randall Library has been a mainstay in this community for over a century. It's pretty amazing. It's an absolutely beautiful example of Richardsonian Romanesque architecture. But after 100 years of use, it was tired, it was worn out. There were all sorts of issues: building code, accessibility issues, spaces without natural light, active leaks in the children area. And providing 21st century library programming and resources was a stretch at best. Designing and constructing a building is not a straightforward task, especially when that building is 100 years old. Challenges arise and compromises are an inevitable part of that process. Designing and building this particular project at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic was one of the most tumultuous times in the construction industry. Was certainly the largest hurdle, and in my career was certainly the largest hurdle. The building itself certainly threw us some challenges during the design process and construction process, but all of that is behind us now. And now that that is complete, the end product is emerging. The stately original library is complemented by its modern counterpart, combining together to create a unified and universally accessible library experience for the first time in the building's history. Old and new are working together as one, providing a range of beautiful program spaces for patrons of all ages, backgrounds, and interests, all surrounded by a beautiful landscape. It is also one of the first buildings in the state to be fully electric, which I think is a testament to the town's commitment to sustainability in our environment. Your revitalized library brings together the best of contemporary library planning, environmental stewardship, and historic preservation for generations to come. Randall may be modest in its footprint, but I think it's mighty in its offerings and its impact. And that is something we can all be proud of and should be proud of. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ben. Now I would like to introduce Kat Copeland, who has been an instrumental member of the building committee throughout this process.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, can you hear me now? This is good. Morning, everyone. It's wonderful to see that this day has finally arrived where we get to reopen the doors to our improved Randall Library. When I spoke at the groundbreaking, we celebrated the vision for this building. Today, we celebrate something even better. We've seen the community's vision come to fruition. For my family, this library has been more than just a building. We've spent countless hours here reading, learning, attending programs, and being together with others in the town. It's a place of discovery, connection, quiet, and sometimes loud moments, and community. I know that many families in Stow feel the same way. Libraries, as has been mentioned, are one of the few places that truly belong to everyone. They welcome us at every age and every stage of life. This building will allow our community to enhance literacy, spark creativity, and allow access to unique opportunities and programs for the citizens of Stow for many generations to come. Seeing the community members of all ages discover the nooks and crannies of the new space last night was incredible. The books seemed to finally have space to breathe. The light cascading in from the new windows was truly magic. The adults finding a new comfy chair, the kids sitting in the new book nooks, the teens already tucked away in the gaming turret. I even tucked myself into the soundproof booth for a moment of solitude. There's so much potential for our community to use this beautiful new space, both inside and out. Serving on the building committee over the years gave me an even deeper appreciation for how much care, dedication, and collaboration went into creating this space. Beyond just the architects and the builders, so many people worked tirelessly to make this possible. The library staff, the trustees, the town leaders, volunteers, donors, and community members who believed in what a library can mean to a town. Thank you to everyone. I'm proud to be just a small part of it, and even more excited to continue to be one of its many enthusiastic users. Congratulations and welcome to this new chapter for our town.
Thank you, Kat. And now I'd like to introduce Tina McAndrew, who has worn many hats throughout this process, our former library director, the chair of the building committees, and now our assistant town administrator.
Thank you, Maureen. Welcome, everybody. Unfortunately, our town administrator, Denise, could not be here this morning as she had a prior obligation, but she asked me to share a few words on her behalf. Today marks far more than the opening of a building. It represents years of dedication, perseverance, collaboration, and a belief in what this library could become. Thank you to all who worked tirelessly on this project for the last 6 years. Honestly, we weren't sure if this day would ever arrive, but here we are. And congratulations to everyone celebrating this wonderful milestone. I hope the community loves and enjoys their new library. Denise and I also wanted to thank the Select Board for their unwavering support for the past years, as well as Senator Jamie Eldridge and, of course, Kate Hogan. I want to thank the Board of Trustees for the invitation to join you today. It is a pleasure and an honor to share this occasion with you. We are a part of a little bit of Stow history in the making. This new library building has been an almost 15-year process, and I want to recognize all the people that moved this project forward throughout the years. Without their dedication and vision, we wouldn't be able to celebrate today. This was truly a team effort traversing multiple years and multiple iterations of committees. I admit there was a steep learning curve, learning all the ins and outs of committee work. Some things could have been done better, but I hope you all know the building committees, architects, construction teams, project managers, administration, and all of those involved were extremely dedicated, worked longer than expected hours, and addressed a multitude of challenges that arose, all with grace and professionalism. We did our best. When I was the director, I used to call the Randall Library the little library that could. Let's not forget all the amazing work that was done here through the years with the less than healthy physical building. But today we stand here in a modern, updated library posed to offer Stow and the surrounding communities opportunity, belonging, a safe space, technology, programs, and the ability to expand interests or discover a new passion by trying new things. I am thrilled to see Randall enter this new stage with a new building and new director at the helm. And of course, I adore the amazing staff that was thrust into a process they never asked for, and the Randall Library friends that have supported the project in every way that was needed. I realize not everyone may be instantly persuaded that the library is for them. We all know we've met our fair share of cynics and critics along the way. So when you take advantage of this wonderful new space with all it has to offer our town, please encourage those you know to take a chance with Randall Library, the little library that could. And while I am no longer the library director, a piece of my heart will always be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. And now we will hear from Kathleen Pavlicek, Hale High School Fund, and many other hats. And then
Good morning. I am Kathleen Pavlicek, and today I represent the Hale High School Fund. I am one of the trustees. Tomorrow town meeting will approve the budget for the coming year. However, the 3 lines in the budget for the library do not cover all the expenses. The Hale High School Fund is one of several other funding sources for the Randall Library. The Hale High School Fund is an endowed fund managed by 5 trustees appointed by the Select Board. It was established in 1871 when Elijah Hale and others made a gift to the town to build and maintain a high school in Stow. After the Neshoba Regional District was formed, the purpose of the fund was changed to support for Randall Library's reference department. The idea was that a library reference room would augment the education for high school students. Since 1974, grants from the Hale High School Fund have covered nearly all of the library's reference department expenses each year. The most recent grant was for $15,500. When this library project was approved, The Hale trustees agreed that our mandate to support the reference department extended to support the renovation of the building. In the 2023, the trustees approved a grant of $400,000 to the town of Stow for this project. Today, we celebrate the reopening of the Randall Library. We congratulate and thank everyone who made this day possible. The residents of Stow will again have full access to all the resources and services the library offers. With everyone represented here, the Hale High School Fund trustees look ahead to and will support the continued success and growth of the Randall Library.
Thank you, Kathleen. And now Lisa Lavina for the Randall Library Friends and the Revitalize group.
Good morning, and thank you all for joining us on this beautiful and wonderful day. I'm here on behalf of the Randall Library Friends to thank residents of Stow for supporting this long-awaited library renovation. Our tax dollars support many worthwhile projects, but few touch the residents the way the local library does. From young children learning to read to students, families, seniors, and lifelong learners, this is truly a place for everyone. I also want to thank those who contribute each year to the Friends Annual Fund Drive. Your generosity helps provide the programs, resources, and community experiences that make the library such an important part of town life, and all are free and accessible to all residents. Today, I especially want to recognize the many donors who went above and beyond to support the Revitalize Randall campaign. Together, our community contributed more than $215,000 to furnish this beautiful new space. We're deeply grateful to the anonymous Stow family, whose remarkable gift of $75,000 kickstarted that campaign. It motivated so many people to join in. It speaks volumes about the important place that the library holds in the heart of our community. It still chokes me up. Every contribution, large or small, makes a difference. Because your generosity, this library is not just a beautiful building, but it's welcoming, comfortable, and ready to serve the community for generations to come. After the ribbon cutting, I hope you'll stay to enjoy the open house and explore the new building that belongs to the town. There's much to see, many people available to answer your questions, and a few small tokens of appreciation waiting for visitors. Thank you again for your support, your generosity, and for helping to make this such a wonderful day.
Thank you, Lisa. And now I would like to read a brief statement from the Community Preservation Committee. CPC pledged $1 million initially for the restoration of the entrance and other parts of the historic part of the library, and they stepped up again and pledged more money when foundational problems were discovered after the old new part of the library was removed, and they found the supports that held up the old building on that side were failing. The Community Preservation Committee is truly pleased to have played a role in supporting the restoration of the historic Randall Library. Projects like this reflect Stow's shared commitment to preserving the places in town that tell our story. We are proud to help ensure that the treasured building continues to serve residents for generations to come. Congratulations to everyone who made this restoration possible. Thank you. And now I would like to invite the speakers to come forward to be part of the actual ribbon cutting, and we will be serenaded by the Minutemen as we assemble.
I'll get it at the end. I'm a minor player. Get in the middle. Get in the middle. Get in the middle.
All right, here we go.
And now please join us inside for a ceremonial first book checkout with our longstanding trustee, Barbie Wolfenden.
Welcome.